Hey everybody, Bam here with Fishing with Bam. I've had a couple requests of people that wanted to see how I made that trash can mod on the Ranger. So I'm going to make a quick video to show you guys how to do that. By no means am I an expert at any of this stuff. I just kind of do things and hopefully they turn out right. So far I've had pretty good luck with that happening, so hopefully it extends your way too. One thing that I do when I make any kind of alterations or modifications to my boat is that I always try to keep it in with the original design of the boat. I don't want anything looking differently. So like the trash can mod is hidden. You don't see it. The lights that I have on my boat, you don't see them unless they're on. A couple other things too, which I can make videos for that stuff if you guys like to see that as well. But anyways, let's get to it. Let me show you guys how I did it. Alright, so I have the single console RT198P, and you can see right here, this panel is where the dual console would go if you had it, or if you end up eventually buying the dual console, you could take that panel off and the new console would go right there. So this is where I originally thought, alright, I want to put a trash can somewhere around here. I wanted to do it on like the foot base, but then that would take too much of an alteration, and I wanted to keep it hidden so there wasn't more stuff in the boat. So what I did at first is I took off the screws. There's 4 screws in each corner. I wanted to see what was underneath this. So when I took it off, there was a cup holder there, which is, don't know why. If you put the dual console on there, that would cover up that cup holder as well. But there was a cup holder in there, and inside the cup holder was, there was an actual like cup holder in here, and there's a hole there. All I did was I lined it with a trash can. Well, I cut a hole in the bottom of the cup holder, I lined it with a trash can, and then just push it in there. It works out pretty well. There's a gasket underneath the cup holder, so it's actually a pretty secure fit. But to get it to stay where the panel doesn't move anything, I bought 2 stainless steel hinges and I put them in the bottom right here of the panel. I put some epoxy on it and then bigger screws so it's more of a tighter and secure fit. Once I did that, I wanted to make sure it sat down and was even the way it was before I took it off. By doing that, I opened up the rod locker over here, and I made sure it was even at the top, and I duct taped it down the middle. And when I duct taped it down the middle, I would shut both of them together to make sure it was seated properly, because you don't want it to hit your center storage rod locker, and you don't want it to overlap over here as well. So when I duct taped it in the middle and I shut it, it sat perfectly. I was like, all right, that's what I want. And then I took the other parts of the hinges and I did the same thing. I drilled holes, and then I put epoxy on the back, and I put the bigger screws inside of it. Then I shut it again to make sure that it was still proper, and it was. Then I was wanting to get it latched down. I wanted to have something that would secure it so it didn't flop around while I was driving. So I bought a cheap little latch at Lowe's. Here you can see it's one of those 2 roller ones. It's pretty cheap. I need to get a different one because this one does rust. But all it is, I put it on the little brace that's right here, and then the little latch that it connects to, I put it on this side as well. This seems to be the best spot for that kind of latch. Also, you want it all the way on the opposite side, farther away from the hinges, so it is, when you shut it, it's secure and it won't bounce around. It's an even secure point from the hinges and the latch. But that's pretty much all you got right there. And then when you shut it, it goes right back in line with the design, so you can't even see that there's anything there. The bag itself hangs underneath where the butt of the rods would be sitting. I only keep 2 rods in there, my spinning rods, so it actually doesn't bother anything for me. It fits a lot in there too. For a day out on the lake, I put all my water bottles in there, fishing line, soft plastics, whatever, that I usually just throw in the bottom of my boat. I now just lift that up, throw it in there, shut the latch back down, and it works out pretty well. So there it is. So that's kind of how the down and dirty on how I made the trash can. Like I said, I'm no expert at this. I just kind of wung it, and it turned out very good for my needs, at least. It's kind of dark in my garage right now, so I could probably show you how my lights look. I did those. I think they turned out pretty good. I rigged them into this switch right here that has no label on it. So when you hit it, I got red lights that run down the entire gunnel of both sides of the Ranger. Also, with the center rod storage, I have connected to the interior lights a center light that lights that up pretty good for like the mornings or night fishing or whatnot. If you guys want to see how I rigged those up and ran the wires and everything, because you can't see any of the wires, it's all hidden. If you want to see how I did that, let me know, and I'll make sure to make a video a little bit quicker on those than I did this one. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope that kind of answers some of your questions, and if you want to see more, just let me know. Alright, if you got any questions, hit them up in the comments. Thanks, guys.